Shall we start, sir? Or yeah. Good evening. Good evening. All. So today we have the compiling references and bibliography through Zotero, right? So um, the basic purpose is to have, we have also gone through the many concept and very sessions on the step-by-step guidance for writing research papers. So where we are already discussing on compiling references and bibliography, but why we are discussing today is like compiling referencing and bibliography through Zotero, because softwares needs to be simplified. Softwares are going to play a very important role, and with those consideration, uh, where the software needs to be defined in such a way that it should ease our efforts, and it makes our work to be on more systematic parameters. So with those consideration, we are today talking about the Zotero. Right. So, Zotero, first of all, you should have the Zotero in terms of the Zotero setup. Right. So, I'll just share the setup for the Zotero first. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. I'm putting this link in chat box. Right. So, just a minute. So, you have zotero.org, right? So, I have put this link in the chat box. So everyone, please, get this link and downloading in your PC. If at all not in this session, but by tomorrow, at least you have to be on to, because we will have 2 days for the hands-on session for reference management through Zotero. Okay, before beginning, how many of you have already attended the RFI platform, the previous session on referencing and management through Zotero? You can give a thumb if at all you have attended. Okay. So only one person has attended this, right? So many, might be he's aware, but yeah, for rest of the people, let's have, that brief identification of, compiling, referencing, and bibliography, why it is important and why it is needed to be discussed, right? So first of all, we will have, right? So systematic literature review using Zotero, referencing and bibliography using Zotero. Right. So when we are talking about referencing and bibliography, so we are not only doing referencing and bibliography through Zotero, but ultimately we are also doing the literature reviews, for the different aspect using Zotero also, right? So it is very, very important things and very, very important perspective from the student's perspective, from the research scholars perspective. It makes our work very easy. But before going to that, we need to understand what is the meaning of compiling, referencing, and bibliography, and if at all we are talking about the referencing and bibliography, so how to differentiate between them, that what is referencing and what is bibliography, right? So that is where we have to focus upon, and where we have to have detailed analysis, detailed guidance on these parameters, right? So here the first aspect is, this is a flow of presentation that we are trying to see today. If not today, then we will also try to finish it by tomorrow. But yeah, we will go into very detailed aspect of all those aspects. So firstly, we will see the meaning of referencing and bibliography. Then we will also see how to start referencing and bibliography. If at all we are writing some research paper, we are writing some research thesis, or if at all we are writing some research projects, so we also need to think about it, where to begin the referencing and bibliography, right? So we also need to think about, where to start, how to start, you know. So these are the talkative point for this particular workshop. Then we will also see why to do the need of, why do we need referencing and bibliography. So anybody wants to say why you are talking about like referencing and bibliography, why you are talking and, why you are compiling referencing and bibliography? Any particular reason why researchers are doing that, compiling referencing and bibliography? What is the basic reason for that? Anybody would like to answer? Why we are doing this? What is the reason that, we are talking about the compiling referencing and bibliography in research? Any answers? See, basically, why we talks about referencing and bibliography compilation, because referencing and bibliography are going to be one of the important aspect in terms of proving your research to be ethically correct, right? So that is where it is going to play a significant role, right? Then that is where we have to discuss. Then the next flow of presentation would be, if at all we are talking and we are applying referencing and bibliography, then what are the different types of referencing and bibliography that we have to see. Then we will also discuss the different types of elements in referencing and bibliography. That is also we have to discuss. Formats of referencing and bibliography. And then after we have to see the thin line of difference between the references and bibliography, right? So this is the flow of presentation that we have to discuss. What is the meaning of references and bibliography? So references, basically, we keep it in the last session. Not only last session, it is very last portion that we have to keep it as a, paper or documentation, where we are listing down all the authors, with the title of the paper, where it has been published, with volume and issue number and the page number that we have to refer, right? So that is basically we are calling as a references. So references is basically whenever we are drafting any research paper or any thesis, so any concept on which we are talking as a part of base of the theory, right? So we want to say, we want to identify where those bases have been taken as a part of the research. So that is called as references, right? So if at all you are taking the ideas, some models, some justification, so we also need to justify on the ground that, where we have taken, how we have taken, so that is why it is called references. So these sources could include the books, journal articles, website, right? If at all we are taking this kind of helps, then this kind of help, this kind of things can be taken out from various articles, websites, reports, it could be from interviews also, right? So in a nutshell, whatever you are writing, whatever you are taking as a base, it is very, very important that you should justify, you should give the credits, parameters to that particular authors from whom you are taking an idea for the research you are writing, right? So the reference sections usually follows the main body of the text of any appendices, right? So references section usually follows the main body of the text and any appendices, means for किसके लिए हम references लेते हैं, right? So references basically हम लोग किसके लिए लेते हैं, जो main body of text होता है. तो main body of text में शायद आप लोगों को पता हो कि नहीं हो कि रिसर्च के अंदर 3 बेसिकली पैरामीटर्स होते हैं. एक होता है स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट, सेकेंड होता है मेन बॉडी ऑफ टेक्स्ट एंड थर्ड होता है एंड पॉइंट. तो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट की जो बात होती है, वहां पे हम लोग बात करते हैं टाइटल, राइट एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. तो सेकेंड पॉइंट होता है, वहां पे हम बात करते हैं इंट्रोडक्शन, एलआर एंड डेटा एनालिसिस, दैट इज कॉल्ड मेन बॉडी ऑफ टेक्स्ट. एंड एंड पॉइंट में हम बात करते हैं फाइंडिंग, कंक्लूजन एंड right. So reference is basically taken for main body of text and any appendices, that is for the second parameters, right? So from where we are taking those parameters as a part of references, so that is for what we are using references, right? And any appendices. So each entry in the references list include the bibliographic information about. So if at all we are taking up any referencing and bibliography, so as a researcher, you should also have an idea that what sort of parameters, what sort of things that we are taking up as a part of referencing and bibliography. So basically, we are taking up the name of the author, the year of publication in which it has been happened, the title of the paper, the journal where it has been published, volume number, issue number, and page number, right? So these are the various parameters that we are taking up as a part of references and bibliography, right? And those references and bibliography we are taking up in APA, MLA, Chicago, etc. Right? So these are the things we are taking up in different styles, like APA style, MLA style, Chicago styles. So these are the different styles from where we are taking those data, right? So this is what the meaning of references and bibliography. So research is basically the cycle. This is a picture which you have to see and understand, and you have to put yourself into this picture and into practicality, and just try to understand the scenario. If at all you are not utilizing the referencing and bibliography to be on the right front, to be on the right manner, then what are the remedies that you need to face up, right? So first picture is saying that the person is very studious enough as far as his research is concerned. So he might have collected multiple resources as a part of his literatures, right? So he might have collected multiple, resources as a part of his literature. You can see in this picture that he has multiple resources, and out of these resources, he's trying to justify his research by having, studious readings, proper readings for all the articles that he has undergone. And by reading those articles, he or she is trying to take the idea from this article, that what is deployed in this article, so he's writing all those articles over here, right? So whatever idea that he or she is considered to be the useful for his or her research, he's just trying to jot down the points, in the papers, or in the laptop or PCs, whatever he is having. So what is happening over here is, he might either soft copy or physical copy, that doesn't matter. But in research journey like PhD journey or any Scopus ABDC journal that you are trying to focus, you have to go for the extensive literature review, where you have to read multiple papers. Under these papers, you have to undergo, very studious observations of your research. So what happened over here is, when you reach to 50 papers, you might forget what is been written in 51 paper, right? So when you reach at 51 paper, might be there is a possibility that you will not remember what is written in the first paper, right? So that is where, when you are writing such things, you might forget those things, right? So when you are writing those things, you forget what is there in 51 paper. So what happens in third image? You are trying to eat. That means, as a researcher, you are trying to digest all those good research papers in your field, which has been drafted by multiple researchers and authors. But when it reached to certain limit, when it crossed certain limits, and what happens is, it convert into indigestions. That means, although you are reading right in your mind, but in your subconscious mind, nothing is going on. Because obviously that if you are reading one research paper, there are 15-20 criteria to remember, and if you reach to 50 papers, this criteria has turned up into 1,000. So there is a limitations of human mind that he cannot remember all those parameters in a very minute level, right? So it happens into like, forgetting those things. And, when you reach to certain level, like, drafting a literature review or introduction parameters, so you might remember, or you call some other articles where you forget to take out certain ideas as a part of your research paper. So what you feel is, you want to repeat those process. You want to make those process to be on repetitive mode, because you forgot to take the important things out of this research paper. So again, you want to repeat those process. So this is called entire research cycle. You read it, you write it, you rinse it, and you repeat it, right? So this is how the things are happening, and that's why the systematic way of literature review and compiling, referencing, and bibliography for the same literature review via utilization of the most important software for referencing and bibliography, which is called Zotero, is very important. I hope it is clear. Any doubt till now? And we will try to see how the Zotero is going to helpful, in all those parameters that you have to see. But till now, any problem, any things you don't understand, please let me know. It could be interactive session, right? If at all you have any doubts, please ask. No doubts? Please confirm. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay, okay. Uh, there was one question. Yeah, yeah, please, you can unmute yourself and you can ask, right? We are very few people, so it is a interactive session. No issue anytime. Kuldeep sir, you have any, please ask. Anyone who wants who have any doubt till now, please
Sir,
let me.
we can download Zotero free.
Yes. Let's work on downloading part first. Or can we keep it last? Can we keep it at the end?
Sir, tell us about मतलब डाउनलोडिंग के बारे में सर अगर आप बता दोगे तो फिर हम डाउनलोड करके रख लेंगे ना उसको.
ठीक है, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। वही मैं बोल रहा था कि मैं डाउनलोडिंग का बाद में बताऊं तो चलेगा, लास्ट में
हाँ जी फिर बाद में बता देना, लास्ट में कोई इशू नहीं है.
हाँ ठीक है, चलिए. रिसर्च साइकिल, दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू फॉलो. So what are the benefits if at all we are going for the referencing and bibliography? So first of all, referencing and bibliography is helping researchers to narrow down their topics. That means you are starting with the broad aspect, you are starting with the broad concept, like you need to focus upon one industry, one company, and then after you have to narrow down your topics, right? So you start with EIC model. I hope you are aware about this EIC model. EIC model, right? So Kuldeep sir might knowing it. For others, it's called economic, industry, and company. Right. So narrow down your topic means whenever you think about to do research, your topic was so broad. Let's say I want to do the research on online banking practices, and consumer perception towards it. So where I want to conduct this research, I want to conduct in India. I want to conduct out of India in Gujarat. I want to conduct this particular research in India, in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad city. So this is where the location needs to define, So I came to narrow down approach from India to Gujarat to Ahmedabad city. Even in Ahmedabad city, you can have certain specific zone of residence like east zone, west zone, right? So this is how you have to narrow down your topic if your research to be on primary research study. Industry point of view, that you want to see the consumer perception. So consumer perception in which industry? There are multiple industry which is working in the market. There is a banking industry, there is FMCG industry, steel industry. So what are you talking about? किसके बारे में आपको बताना है, right? So that is where the industry perspective you have to think about it. So that is industry. And then you have to think about the company perspective, right? So this is company perspective. So out of this industry, let's say I want to go for banking. So I want to go for banking industry. Right. So under the banking, which company, right? So I want to go for selected banks like SBI. Right. I want to go for BOB. Which bank I'm talking about, right? So, this is a narrow down process, right? So you start with the broad idea. Research always starts with the broad idea, but as a researcher, you have to narrow down your topic with the utilization of EIC model. For finance, it is best suited, like if I want to see the performance of selected companies. So I want to check the performance of the company in which market. So first of all, I want to check in Indian market. Now in India, there are two kind of stock market which is running. One is BSE, another one is NSE. You want to check in which industry, which stock exchange, right? So that is where you have to decide. Then company, right? If at all you are talking about any company, so which industry are you talking about, right? So that should be specific companies on which you want to check the performance. So industry specific you have to talk about. And out of this industry, which companies are you talking about, right? So which companies performance you want to check. So you need to talk in a front of company's perspective also. So company कौन सी लेना चाहते हो, कौन सी company के बारे में आप बात करना चाहते हो. So that companies you have to decide, right? So which companies are you talking about? So that is where EIC model, that is economic, industry, and company, you have to think about it. So according to that, you have to see, right? So EIC model, right? So this kind of work, and this kind of work, EIC model, how you will get it? So you might be undergoing with certain kind of literature reviews, you might refer certain papers, certain journals, and through which you might have certain ideas about, where to conduct, how to conduct, on which industry I want to go for it. Out of this industry, which company should I talk about? So this is the fundamental grounds where you have to think about it. And that's where how to prove your research to be original, ethical, and significant with the help of literature review. But those literature review, as a researcher, it is very, very important that we should manage those literature review to be on proper ground. So as and when it is required to be referred again, it could be easily available, and at the same time, it could be easily referable. And that is where we can able to prove our research to be ethical, original, and significant, right? And that's where it also helps to find our research to be on focused area. How our research to be, proved to be focused area. So we have to focus on certain parameters. We have to focus upon certain things like, just like I have seen that I want to go for the research on online banking. So should I do for online banking for all the banks, or should I go for particular bank? Or if at all I'm going for particular bank, then I also need to ask myself why I'm talking about this particular bank only, and why not others, right? So when this why needs to be justified, right, it is very, very important that the references should be properly manageable. So as and when anybody wants to refer, they can refer it, and through which we can justify our research to be correct, on ethical and original, and to be significant. And that's why this research will help you out to find out the research gap, and through which you can prove that our research is on focused area and it is completely strong on fundamental ground, right? So our research is strong in fundamental ground. That is where we also have some references and bibliography. And it also helps to find out the quality of work done, and also helps to get the citation process, and helps in avoiding plagiarism, right? So references is also helps to prove your research that you are correct, you have not copy pasted, you are not stealing any ideas. Research is not saying that you cannot pick up any one idea. You can always take the ideas from others, but at the same time, it is a responsibility and duties of the researcher that you should give the proper credit, right, to those persons from whom you have taken the the ideas for this particular aspect, right? So that's why it will help you out to prove your research to be correct on ethical ground, and it also help you out to avoid the plagiarism, right? So this is where you have to prove on the correct way. So provide relevance. It also helps to provide interest, existing literature review, and societal needs. I always say in my all the lectures that no research without societal importance will have the market relevance. So it is very, very important that we should focus upon the societal needs and relevance, through which we can prove our research to be fundamentally correct, right? Understand existing research, right? So that will help you out to finding out the gaps, through utilization of the existing gaps. So here a researcher can differentiate what has already been, find it out, what you want to do, and what best way that you can find it out. That is a gap in between, through which you can work out, and you can reach out to that particular level. Then you have to define the contribution. So clearly articulate how your research will contribute to the existing body of knowledge by the previous authors, and segregate your originality of work, right? So you have to define your contribution in a terms, how your research to be contributed in terms of existing body of knowledge with concern to the previous author, and segregate your originality of work. So contribution means, when you are taking, see, in social science, we are not the inventors, we are not inventing certain laws, we are not inventing some new things. But in social science, what we are doing it, we are just trying to prove, and check one elements to others. If at all we have checked one element over here, we want to see the other element on the other side. So we are trying to, explore on one particular concept. Let's say 5 parameters have already been checked, so we want to check the 6 parameters effect. On the contrary, if 5 parameters is already checked, then as a researcher we also want to check those 5 parameters. But although these 5 parameters have been checked in one area, and we want to check again those parameters effect into other areas with the consideration of separation of geographical location. So even with the same parameter, we could change the location and we'll try to confirm the impact of that factor. So many of you are aware about confirmatory factor analysis, right? So what confirmatory factor analysis using structure equation modeling is doing, we are not finding out any other variables, we are not finding new variables, but we are just trying to have the checking the impact of that particular variable in one area from another area, right? So that is where we are confirming the effect of those variables, right? So that is where we are confirming confirmatory factor analysis, and through which we would be able to decide our objectives on which we want to do the study, right? So that is what the benefit that we can receive out of it. I hope it is clear till now. Okay. So structure of your paper, if at all, referencing and bibliography is concerned. So mainly all the papers are have a common structure. Like this is chapter number 1, right? This is going to be chapter number 2. This is chapter number 3. This is chapter number 4. And this is chapter number 5, right? So these are the 5 chapters, we have to see to it. Use clear language, in a sense, the language should be clear, precise, and scholarly manner. Means whatever language that you are using of research, it should be very clear, precise, and under the scholar manner. It should not be, too much jargons, It should be very clear, precise, and consistent. And cite your references always on the given references style, which is, preferred by any universities or any journals in which you are trying to publish your research work. Like, if at all you are focusing upon the journals, so you must have to download the author's guidelines from the journal, and through which you have to pick up this kind of reference styles. Like you can go for American Psychological Association, which is called APA, MLA style, and Chicago style, right? And stay updated. So whenever you are doing research in your area, it is very, very key component for every researcher that you have to be stay updated for all the kinds of modification that is happening in the research, right? So that is where you have to stay updated. Then engage with peers. Very, very important. I always say that research is a networking activity. Start attending conferences, workshops, seminars, and to meet multiple peoples, and to have the interactions with multiple peoples at the same time, through which you can engage yourself for the multiple tasks that you need to perform, right? And that's where you can increase and enhance your efficiencies for that particular aspect. Collaborate with experts, right? So you should seek collaborations with experienced researchers or mentors to enhance the quality of work. So very, very important that if at all you want to grow in your research, you always have to collaborate with those people. From you find that, he or she is having particular knowledge of research, and with the help of them, you can grow, you can have the ideas, at least you can grow your research, you can enhance your research, you can enhance your visibility in terms of publishing your papers into good quality journals. And believe me, if you want to publish your paper into good quality journals, very, very important that your literature review should be systematic way, through which your gap, objectives, findings, conclusion, analysis should be in a very synchronized manner with the attainment of the title of the paper, through which you can prove your research to be correct and ethical. Right. So that is where you have to collaborate with different experts for the different work. Right. So that is where you have to focus upon high impact factor journal. I hope you all are aware that if at all you want to publish your paper into Scopus, ABDC, Web of Science journals, which are considered to be high quality journals. So this kind of journals are always looking for the high quality references. That means you always refer those papers from where the high quality content and parameters needs to be gettable, right? So that is where you have to focus upon the high impact factor journals, through which you can enhance, you can make your visibilities to the market, and through which you can perform your task and you can have the better visibility in terms of receiving good citations, right? So that is where you have to focus upon high impact factor journals, right? So these are the journals You can see this Q1 journal. So this is again one journals, Q1 journal, which is Scopus Index journal. So here you can see this, the green side is saying that cited documents, and the red side is saying that uncited documents. So out of the published paper in this particular journal, you can see this green word, green line. So these are the, cited documents in this journal. And this is one of the journal of Q1 journal. So there are four types of journals in Scopus. I hope you're aware about it. Q1, Q2, Q3. Yes or no, please confirm, so that I'll not go detail. Or if you are not knowing, don't write in chat box. Please speak out. I cannot see the chat box. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Are you aware about it?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Right. So Q1 journals are the best quality journals. And you can see this. This journal is Q1. This is Q1 journal over here. Right. So these are the best journal, right? Any of this journal, kind of journals are having their H index not less than 130. Right. Then below Q1, there is Q2 grade. So out of this journal, no journal is having H index less than 70 or 80. These are the journal after Q1, Q2, there is a next below graded journal is Q3. So in this journal, no journal is having H index less than 20 or 30. Right. And below 30 H index, the last category of Scopus is Q4. Right. So Q4 H index is, 1 to 30. So there are some journals who are in Q4, might be possible that they might remove from the Scopus. So whenever you are going for publishing Q4 Scopus journal, always check the citation process of that journal. And most importantly, you need to check that this particular journal is continuing the Scopus or not. Sometimes Scopus is not removing those journals for 1 year after their removal, right? So might be they are visible in terms of Imago website, but they are not continuing with the Scopus indexing, right? So might be they are on Q4, right? So there are symbolical index, right? If you are going for Q1, so it is showing green signal, right? So it is Q1, so green signal. If you go to Q2, that might be this color would be orange, right? If you go to Q3, this orange, then Q3 yellow, and Q4 is red, right? So this is alert sign that not all journals would be removable, but yes, there are certain journals who can be removed from this, right? So that is where Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 is a bifurcation of the journals that we have to see to it. Is it clear, everyone? So whenever you are going for references in bibliography, you also have to ensure that for all the topics that you are writing research paper, or all these aspects, you should have the quality referencing and bibliography for your perspective. Clear? Understood? Any doubt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So you can see this important site for quality journals, right? So all these good quality journals, you can always get it from the Schemago website. Clear? So you always go to schemago.com, right? You always go to schemago.com, right? So you will have all the categorization of the journals through which you can fetch. Okay. So why we need referencing and bibliography? So firstly, to acknowledge the works of other, it is very, very important that we should have the referencing and bibliography. Then second is to allow others to find the sources easily. So it's a give and take relation, right? So today you are writing a paper, so you are searching other authors, supporting elements or supporting works in the same topic on which you want to work out. So today it is your responsibility that you are taking the help of other researcher or previous authors. So it is your moral responsibility that you should cite them. So whenever in future, if your paper is published in the quality journals, by having your approach to be, systematic literature review and references. So whenever in future other researchers are referring your paper, they will also cite you, right? So it is a combined relations that we have to get it. Then third is to get recognition and authentication of work, right? So we have to get the authentication and recognitions of the work that we have to do to make the work informative in terms of the quality. If at all we want to make our work to be on qualitative ground, we also need to have the proper referencing and bibliography to trace the intellectual development of your idea you present, right? So even your paper is going to be more on intellectual parameters, right? Or if you want to prove your article to be more intellectual in the minds of journal, because obviously all the quality journals are only publishing those articles which are more prone towards the intellectual level. So if your article is proving on the same ground, there would be a chances that your paper should be published very easily into the good journals. So it is very, very important that you should focus and you should have uh, this kind of workout so that it will published very promptly. So elements in referencing and bibliography. So what are the elements, if at all we are going for referencing and bibliography? So firstly, author's name. So these author names can be the last name and first name. In certain format, it is last name, first name. But in certain formats, last name and the first letter of first name. Right, depending upon the style of references that you are focusing upon, right? And style of references we will discuss in the next slide. So don't worry. So author's name should be there, year of publication in which the article has been published in so and so journal, title of the paper that you have worked out, right? Name of the journal in which this article has been published, addition in terms of the volume number, right? Addition in terms of the volume number, issue number that you need to find it out. This addition in terms of volume and issue, periodicity, right? So the sub part of addition is issue, right? So addition is basically volume and the periodicity in terms of issue number, or subdividation again in parts number. Let's say if you are going with ISBN number book, so ISBN number book is not having the volume and issue both, right? So if there is a part, then you can also have this part. And series means, if the article is or if it is a journal, then it could be page number, right? So it could be page number, right? So that is what you have to mention as a part of the elements of references and bibliography. Clear? Any doubt in this? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So
No, sir.
yes. Okay. So we will talk about this format, right? So in the previous slide we have seen this. So you can see this first. These are the different types of formats. MLA style, you can go for APA style, you can go for Chicago style, you can go for IEEE style, you can go for CSE. Basically, this are using for science and engineering. Anybody is from science and engineering? Anyone? Or all are from commerce management?
Science, sir.
Okay, so science, you have to use this, right? So keep this thing in mind. IEEE is most preferable, yes? If at all you are from technological background, school of technology or something, right? IEEE is most preferable. Majority of the paper have been published in IEEE journals, right? But again, CSE is also the part of it. If at all you are from science, chemistry, biology, if it is
So,
there.
sir, I'm from IT background, so for IT, it's IEEE and CSC is the best, as
Yes.
like you suggest. Okay, okay, sir.
IEEE can, if at all you want to publish your paper into good journals. IEEE journals are considered to be equivalent to the Scopus for School of Technology people.
Okay,
And
sir.
there is a huge platform for IEEE for you people, right? So you can go for it. Apart from that, you have another like Vancouver, Harvard, right? So all those who are from social science, these are the references style, right? This MLA style. My citation is in ML. If I'm going with, so my surname is Soni, name is Krunal, so full name and full surname, right? So last name comes first and first name comes second, but in full name. But if I change from MLA to APA, you see the changes. My first surname full, but my name is not appearing to be first full name, but it is just appearing for the first letter of the name. right? And then Maulik Desai, right? So Desai comes first as a surname, and first name is only first initiator of the name, Maulik. Then you can see this year of publication is coming over here after the name of the journal in MLA. But in APA, immediately after the author name, you have year of publications. So these are the difference points, right? From, MLA to APA if you are going for it. Clear? Again, if you come to Chicago, so MLA, same way MLA, so name is not changing. Again, year of publication remains constant. There is a difference between MLA and Chicago. So MLA and Chicago, so if you notice over here, so this is volume and issue. So 10 is volume and 1 is issue. Over here, you can see this 10 is volume and issue is considered to be number, NO dot. So issue always write in NO dot. While in APA, volume is 10 and issue always written in bracket. Can you see this? And over here in MLA and Chicago, we put 2 semicolons over here. While in APA, we just put the comma. We just put the comma. Can you notice this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are the difference of different types of referencing and bibliography that we have to see, right? So it is very important. So do you think that if at all you are changing your referencing and bibliography, you are trying to publish your paper into one journal, right? But let's say if it has not been worked out, and it has been rejected in one particular journal. So that particular journal was asking the referencing and bibliography to be prepared in ML style, right? But now you are trying to focus in, next journal, which they are asking the referencing and bibliography in APA style. So what is your people opinion? Should you type all these things again? And you will try to manage all these minor things by manually? And do you think that it is workable? And if at all you are trying to work out, do you think that it is going to happen with perfection? There would be a
No,
chances that you
sir.
will miss out something. And due to
No,
which
sir. It
your
will be very difficult.
bibliography will not be the according to the format again in the second journal which you are trying to focus upon. And that's where, believe me, if you are trying to focus on quality journals like Scopus and APTC, right, the first and foremost criteria for publishing your paper is to have your referencing and bibliography to be in accurate and proper way. And not accurate and proper way, but that should be from the quality journal. So this is the first benchmark, to try to publish your paper into Scopus APTC journal. So if your referencing and bibliography are not up to the mark, forget about that. Your paper is going to be published for the process for the further aspect. It will going to be stopped at that level only. So it is not going to in the further way, right? It will go and stop on that particular way, right? So that is where you have to be very curious. You have to be very focused and accurate in terms of those parameters. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So very important, and that's why we have arranged this workshop. So people are not understanding the importance of this workshop. But again, this is the first time we are arranging. But after that, your feedback matters a lot for us. So sometimes we are making our journey very difficult, with these minor mistakes. But we are not understanding that, and then we are claiming that I'm not. It's Scopus is not my cup of tea. It's very difficult. But actually, the first step that you have to publish your paper into Scopus ABDC journal. So the first and foremost thing that you have to do is this: compiling and referencing and bibliography according to the format in which they required. So if your one journal has been rejected from MLA style and next journal is focusing on APA style, it hardly takes 5 minutes to convert them from MLA to APA style, even though you have 100 references and bibliography, if you know Zotero. But if you do the same thing manually, believe me, you will get 5 hours to change. You will make ample mistakes, and these mistakes at the time of submission in any of journal leads to again mistake and mistakes. Again, you will face rejection. People will get demoralized and stop aiming for the quality journals like Scopus and ABDC. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So you are right.
Sir, I have a one question.
Yes.
Sir, Zotero sir references तो वो correct कर देगा within 5 minutes. But sir, suppose for कि हमारा एक पेपर है ML स्टाइल में एंड सेकंड में हमको API में कन्वर्ट करना है, तो क्या हमारे जो चार्ट्स हैं, जो टेबल्स हैं, जो बुक्स नेम है, क्या वो भी ऑटोमेटिक चेंज हो जाएंगे थ्रू Zotero?
हाँ, चार्ट्स मतलब किस तरह के चार्ट्स की बात कर रहे हो?
चार्ट्स का भी सर फॉर्मेट होता है लाइक कि हार्वर्ड स्टाइल है, हेडिंग्स ऊपर करना है, नीचे करना है, बुक्स की नेम में भी हम लोग को
हाँ,
स्टाइल
वो तो हो
चेंज
ही
करना
जाता
होता
है,
है।
वो तो हो ही जाता है।
होता है सर ऑटोमेटिक है और बाय मैनुअली?
नहीं, ऑटोमेटिक।
ऑटोमेटिक है, ओके
आपको
दैट्स
जो भी
गुड।
स्टाइल चाहिए, यहाँ पे आपको 10 स्टाइल दिख रही है ना, जोटेरो में आपको 25 स्टाइल दिखेगी।
ओके ओके,
On
थैंक यू
this
सर।
slide, you only see 10 slides, style of references. But in Zotero, that would be 25 styles that you can manage.
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Okay, so you can see this, which I was telling to you. So if you follow ML style, you can see this surname and name, right? As we have discussed. So this is surname and name. You can see this. Then you can see this title of the paper, right? This is the title of my paper. And then you can see this. This is a journal where I have published. So this is ABDC journal. And this is volume number. This is volume number and this is issue number. Then year of publication in bracket, and in semicolon after that, you have page number 67 to 79. Now, if I change from MLA to APL, just see the movement of parameters. Can you see this? Now you can see this surname and name only first letter. Name only first letter. The paper title, name of journal, volume and issue. So 10 volume, issue 1 in bracket, and page number is 67 to 79. That is page number. Clear? Chicago, if you see again, surname, name, right? And you can see this, the first author you have surname, name, but in second author you have name, surname. Can you notice? Right? So this is how it is changing. And journal almost is same for all the parameters. The basic changes is happening in name, surname, year of publication, and volume and issue number. Over here, earlier it was in bracket, now here is number in terms of issue. Clear? So the difference between referencing and bibliography is very thin. So references is basically means that you have read and specifically referred. That means किसी article को आपने पढ़ा है और उसका आपने अपने research paper में base भी किया है, right? So that is considered to be references. While bibliography is you have refer everything, but you might not have referred it or cited in your paper. That means you might have undergone the reading of those articles, but you don't find that much significance to consider for your articles to publish and cite them for the idea that you want to take it out for your paper. So that is called bibliography. So basic difference between referencing and bibliography is each and everything that you are reading, whether you are utilizing or whether you are not utilizing. But referencing are those things which you are reading and utilizing as a part of citing. That is what it's called, references. I hope it is clear. So many times people are considering oblique, references, oblique bibliography. Is it correct? It's not correct. And bibliography is very, very important, because how to finalize your references with the utilization of bibliography. If you have not read bibliography, then you will not reach to the right point that this is an important article for me and this is not important article for me. So you would be able to decide the important article for you only when you have undergone for non-important articles, which is important for you, right? So that is where you have to differentiate between references and bibliography. Clear? Everyone? Any doubts?
No, sir.
And this referencing and bibliography, these are the sources from which you can get it: book, journals, newspaper, conference paper proceeding, institutional government publications, electronic sources, website, CD-ROM database, thesis, reports, right? So these are the various sources through which you can get it. And, so parameters for identifying quality references, obviously, you have to focus on quality journals like which have H index to be on higher side, and we have already discussed for Scopus journal Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So depending upon looking at the H index, you can identify the quality journals, and that is where the university ranking affiliation is also doing matters for us, and through which we can also receive quality assurance certificates. Right. So reasons we have already discussed, to make your research to be correct on fundamental grounds, to be significant, and to publish your paper into good quality journals, and through which you can differentiate between the research paper, which is more efficient, more important in terms of quality and quantity, right? So today we are ending over here. I'll just show you the Zotero downloading, and then from tomorrow we will start actually with Zotero. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can go to this website. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible. Right, to download it from here. Right, so you can see this download. Right, so if you go to download, right, so you can see this download Zotero 7 for Windows, and you can also have Zotero connector. Right, so you first download Zotero and then Zotero connector. Zotero connector is Google Chrome extension that you can always have it over here. You can see this, I have Zotero connector. Right, so whenever I want to cite any references, I just click on Zotero connector. So it will automatically going to be fetched in my Word file. Right, so if you download this process, right, if you download this, it will start getting installing. Right, you just have to see your system. If you have Windows, you can have Windows setup. If you have Mac book, then you have Mac setup, and accordingly you can have it. And this is Google Chrome extension, right? Zotero Connect. This, so you always add into you, because I already have in my Google Chrome, so they are asking me remove. यहाँ पे आपको पूछा जाएगा add extension. Clear? So you have to add it. Clear, everyone? So it will automatically flash over here. Right, you can see this is for Zotero only. So the moment I'll activate this, it will activate in my PC. I don't have to do anything. Can you see this? The moment I'll deactivate it, it gone. Again, I'll activate. So this signature will come over here. Is it clear? So both you have to download it and be prepared for tomorrow. Yes or no? And this is setup. Zotero 7 for Windows is actually setup. And if at all you want any installation help, you can always go into this. Right, how to install, every step has been given over here. Right, very easy to download it and install it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right, still if you have any doubts, you can always reach out to me. I'm putting my number in the chat box. Right, so you can refer it if at all you have any problems. Clear? So you can take my number from chat box. So if you are still facing any issues, you can reach out to me. Clear? Everyone? Any
Yes,
doubt
sir.
related to today's topic, so you can ask.
Any AI tools for creating the bibliography, sir? In a word paper like MLA, APA?
Zotero is kind of AI tools only, madam, right? If you see the wonders, right, you will realize.
Okay.
Right. Even if you are noticing, if you are going for Google Scholar, you have 20 articles on Google Scholar. Within a single click, you can add into your library.
Okay.
Right. And a very next moment, you can utilize those articles for your references.
Okay.
Right. So that is the beauty of it. Wait for tomorrow. So tomorrow, you will have all the ideas about Zotero, and then after you will never stop using Zotero.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Clear? I hope the session is useful for today. And I hope you all will come out with installation of Zotero by tomorrow. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Can we get this your presentation?
We will,
Can you
or
share your presentation?
we are not sharing PPT, but yeah, you can always refer from YouTube videos that we have it.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
The entire, we have a broadcasting on YouTube, so you can refer for a lifetime. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you so much, all of you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.